Hi YouTube. So I'm out here with something slightly different tonight. This may look like a p60, and indeed it is. It's a Solar Force L2, but what we've actually got in here is a incandescent bulb. I'll put some pictures up of the p60 drop-in. So this one's from Kaidomain. This is their 9-volt one, so I'm running it on two 18350s, which I know is only technically 8.4 volt, but we'll see how it performs. These drop-ins are really cheap. We're talking like a couple of quid delivered. This one, and I've also got another host here. This one's a sort of a cheap ultrafire. What is it actually? It's a ultrafire WF501A. So this is a single cell, so this is a single 18350 in here, with the Kaidomain 3.7 incandescent drop-in. Now I've owned a few p60s over the years, but I've only ever had LEDs previously, so while this will be old hat to many people, I have to say I'm actually quite surprised at how good they are and how different they are to an incandescent mag light. Just to keep the comparison going, I do have another Solar Force here. This is an L2M, and in here we do have an LED. This is a Nisha 219B, neutral white, an LED that lots of people would say is very close to daylight, but it's amazing how good this looks in isolation, but how strangely blue and cold it looks compared to the incandescent bulbs. But we'll fire them up and we'll have a quick go and, you know, tell me what you think. So first off, we'll fire up the 9-volt one. Now I have put this on my light box, and it actually is making pretty healthy lumens. I'll put the proper numbers up. It was over 220 lumens, and the beam's quite broad on it, and surprisingly artifact free. I think to the eye you can just see on a white wall, you can see a little bit of an uneven hot spot on it. You know, must be where the filament is, but I was kind of expecting it to look a bit like a mag light beam, where you do get quite a few artifacts no matter how you focus it, but really on camera it's difficult to know this from an LED bulb. It really is very impressive. It's not got the most throw. I think I was only getting about 2,500 CD, but to walk by, you know, it definitely produces enough light, and you know, I'm really quite gobsmacked. I was not expecting an incandescent bulb to be this good in 2022 compared to LED bulbs. Let's just grab the smaller light with the 3.7 drop-in. Now this one only made about half the lumens on my light box. It's got a much tighter beam though, and I was getting well over 7,000 CD. So it does seem to throw a lot better than the bigger one. So outdoors, arguably it's perhaps a better drop-in, even though it's running at much lower voltage. Of course you could run this on a 18650, but it's still got quite a bit of light, and the beam is really good. Again, it's really clean, but you can see the hot spot looks smaller, although it does look rounder and even cleaner if anything, and it's got a slightly duller spill beam than the 9-volt one. But as you can see, we can light up down the range really well, and again it's just a million miles away from a mag light. I'll have to put some mag light footage up at some point as well as a comparison. I don't have one of those with me, but I'm really surprised because these p60 hosts are very usable in this day and age. So let's just get the Nisha 219 lit up, and as we can see, it's got a beam that's probably more akin to the 9-volt one. You know, it's perhaps a little bit cleaner, but a similar sort of size hotspot. But in reality, we're only getting perhaps a little bit more throw from it. I'll put the figures up. On the light box, this does make more lumens than either of the incandescent ones, but you know, we're not talking massive amounts. It does look quite nice, the Nisha. But what we'll try and do, just bear with me a second, I'll try and get this and the incandescent one fired up at the same time. Okay, so here we are. On the left we've got the Nisha, and on the right we've got the the 9-volt incandescent drop in, and as you can see, oops, let me drop the camera there. Definitely a much warmer tone from the incandescent. It does make that niche look quite cold and blue, which it doesn't normally do in isolation. And yeah, we're getting a bit more performance out of the niche. If you look at the tree there behind the sign bush there, but if anything, the incandescent's actually got a smoother beam for anything up close. You know, it really is quite an eye-opener, to the fact that I think I'm going to keep the incandescent in these other hosts, and I'm going to use them because the colour rendition is just so nice on them. You know, LEDs are impressive, and there are some nice tones out there on the LEDs, and normally I love the Nisha, but I think the incandescent really trumps it. You know, tell me what you think.